Today, on the 222 Paranormal Podcast video series, I bring you The Punished Suicide. But before that, remember, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and give me a thumbs up on the video. It really means a lot to me. And if you can, please share the video. Alright, so let's get on to the video. Welcome to the 222 Paranormal Podcast video series. I'm your host, Joe Shortridge. On today's video, we're going to talk about something really interesting. It's called The Punished Suicide. Okay? It all started back in 1863 in Padua, Italy. An unnamed girl committed suicide by jumping into the Brenta River. The only thing we know about her is that she's 18 years old. They wouldn't release her name or anything, but she jumped into the river, committed suicide in the morning. When her body was found later that day, the head of the pathology lab at the University of Padua, which is the oldest university in history, it's known as the cradle of anatomy. When he found out, his name was Brunetti. When he found out that this girl's body was a fresh death, he asked if he could have her body brought in so he can do some experiments on her. Her body is brought into his lab, and the thing that he does is he developed a way to preserve living items, sort of like taxidermy, okay? So what he did with this girl, he cut her hair off, then he made a plaster cast of her upper torso. He then proceeded to cut her skin off of her body, dry it out, do his technique, inject the skin with tannic acid, and basically put it back over this plaster cast. Now, his technique was done on a lot of different animals, and to this day, the animals that he did this on, the skin feels real. It still has its plasticity. It's not, I mean, it's obviously cold to the touch, but it's a really good technique. So, back to this girl. What he did was he actually, like I said, filleted her body, put her skin over the plaster cast of her body, put the hair back on. When he was finished with this, he looked at it and he found out that something was wrong. Okay? When they dredged the body from the river, they used metal hooks. It caused holes in her skin. Okay? So, being the artiste that he is, he came up with a solution. He ended up taking sticks and putting them at the shoulders and putting, sticks and branches on her. And then he did his technique of preservation on some snakes and made them look like they were winding around, eating her face. Okay? He put glass eyes in to make her eyes look real. And where the holes were, he made it look like the snakes were eating her skin. How he made the blood was he actually took red candle wax and put it around to make it look like blood. So what he did was he made this like an analogy of hell, because as you know, suicide is considered damnation or whatever, and you're punished to hell. So he made this an allegorically, or I don't know the exact term, but he made it a representation of hell. And this turned out to be the punished suicide. Now, do you want to see what this thing looks like? Let me show you some photos. Yep, there it is. Can you believe what this looks like? I mean, come on. Look at this thing. Is this creepy or what? So, anyways, what is the first thing he does when he's finished with this thing? He actually shows the girl's parents. The parents who just found out that their daughter committed suicide, found out that her body was taken to the lab and filleted and made into a statue. So what do you think the parents do? Did they freak out? No. The parents loved it. The parents said that he made it look like she was alive, made her soul come out of the artwork. And everybody else that saw it loved it. They praised him for his work. So a couple of years go by, and in France there's a art expedition. It's called the Universal Expedition of Paris. Brunetti enters the punished suicide into the competition, and he actually wins the Grand Prix of the profession, Grand Prix of Arts and Professions. He actually wins the award for this punished suicide, this girl's body who was filleted and put into a statue, and people know that this was an actual girl that this is done to. And you want to look at the pictures again? Let me show you again. Can you believe this thing? Is this creepy or what? But that's it. That's the punished suicide. So people are raved about his masterpiece. They say how great he did. And he even admits, saying that so perfectly did I preserve the pathology that who sees her did easily recognize her. And that's it. A lot of people that know her actually loved it and praised it, even though this girl's life was so tragically taken by suicide. So what do you think about this? I mean, what, in a way, how are your thoughts on this? Do you feel it's okay to display dead people in this fashion? I mean, there's so many other people that are displayed in different ways in art and that. I mean, human skulls. You go to in Paris, the churches with skulls and that hanging on them. You know, what's your opinion? I mean, think about this. This girl committed suicide. She did it on her own free will. Yes, she was 18, but who has control over her body? Do the parents have control over the body? I mean, is it okay for a professor to just say, bring her body here so I can make her into a statue? You know, I don't know. Who has the determination of what happens to a body after it dies? There's so many displays out there that you can see. I mean, we talked about on our show, the 222 Paranormal Podcast, we talked about the monks that basically turned themselves into mummies. And we've talked about the statue in the window of the dress shop, and I cannot pronounce her name. It's Lolita or something like that. Everybody thinks that this girl, or this statue in the window, is actually the dressmaker's daughter who committed suicide, or who died. I don't know when she committed suicide. I shouldn't say that. But I can't say her name. But anyhow, they don't know if this girl is actually a real mannequin or the girl preserved. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. You know, it's a fun discussion. I still wonder what happens to the rights of the person. I mean, is there family members out there that disagree with this? Are they able to say, no, wait a minute, we didn't give you permission to taxidermy her body? But anyhow, that is the punished suicide. It is such an interesting story, and I've always been intrigued by it. I wanted to bring it to you. Before I let you go, though, please, like I said in the beginning, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and give me a thumbs up on the video, and comment on it. You know, I mean, don't be rude. I mean, it's a discussion. It's a debate or whatever. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and thank you. Get up on our website, 222 Paranormal Podcast. The website's name is 222 Paranormal. See, I almost forgot my own name. We have t-shirts for sale up there. Get up there, buy some t-shirts so we have gas money to make it to the conventions. And anyhow, have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you later.